So Wednesday 3rd of November, back on the road after a 2-week hiatus because of strong winds. Pretty much when the winds are that strong as they have been, the noise interference on this camera will be too great, so I just don't bother. So we've got a nice still day today, and once again I'm back here at Holy Trinity Church, Weston, about to undertake around 10 miles of a North Herts Ramblers walk, which they entitle Baldock Circular. I think it's a number 94, but for parking purposes, etc., logistics, I'm here at Weston, so I've altered the GPS track slightly, and I'll be walking in an anti-clockwise direction for lunch at Wallington, and missing out the section where they start, actually in Baldock town. So, pretty chill day today, classic November, around 5 degrees, north-northwesterly wind. Well, what there is of it, as I say at the moment, thankfully, we haven't got any. So let's press on. Obviously the clocks have gone back since I last walked, so sunset around 4:30 today, should be done before then. Back on the Hertfordshire Way here, as I was a few weeks ago when I did a walk from Weston Church. So a little bit of duplication here. Following Weston Golden Jubilee walk, as I did a few weeks ago, this part is once again, or still, duplication. Obviously the fields are different now. Crops have been taken in, and it's slightly muddier underfoot. Not too bad today though. And that's interesting, the cattle are still out, and in a field that they weren't in when I previously walked it. Normally come in at the end of October. Looking back whence I've come, with the old water tower over there in the distance at Weston. Got a height differential of about 299 to 480 odd today. That water tower obviously being at the lower of those two figures. Okay, the previous time I did this part of the walk, I turned left here on byway 12, which is just ahead of me here on that post. But today we're continuing straight on, so some different terrain possibly henceforth. Heading for Clottle, the village of Clottle, and as you can hear, jets are back in business. As you can see, plenty of hawes around, and I think I previously mentioned that I didn't know of any birds that ate them, but in fact there is one, hence the hawfinch, which I haven't ever seen, I don't think. But that is appropriately named, and that's why it's named. But we don't get any around here, so these berries tend to get left. Passing by what was once the Barley Mow pub, and through this field with its dumped vehicles. So we're duplicating again at the moment as we head towards the A507 again. Little headstone over there to Dora the Explorer, presumably a pet. Can't read that from here myself. Still duplicating on the Hertfordshire Way as we head towards woodland, where I previously mentioned the damage to the ash. Yeah, as you can see, it's the ash that seems to have lost its leaves earliest this year. Don't know if that's any reflection of the illness, but it's very stark now, the dieback. Obviously you can't tell during the winter months when all the leaves are off anyway, but as I say, a bit of a coincidence, it will come off earlier than any of the other trees. This is Clottleberry Wood on the map. And on my left, shortly you'll be able to see the height we're at, which is pretty decent, as I mentioned previously. So on the previous walk this direction, we stuck on the Hertfordshire Way, which is alongside the wood edge here. Today we're following footpath 14 diagonally across this field. FP14 is not marked in any way, shape or form, and is not clear on the ground either, but I'm following these track marks ahead of me here, which seem to be, per the GPX track, the way to go. And I think that gate yonder is where I'm headed for. So oddly, the white topped marker post comes into view, and there's the gate that we head through that other side over there, I think. So in fact there's no need to come across this field actually, the official route, disturbing the sheep here, because you could stay alongside the fence joining this track where the farmer has put up a sign that you can't turn left. And then the onward journey here is over this footbridge, I think. Well, in fact, the onward journey is not across that footbridge. The indicator, the circular disc, is missing, but you actually turn right here, past Quickswood Farm on your left, past another property on your left, and continue alongside this wood. Some decent autumn colours coming into view now. This is actually Spittlewood on my right, which I did walk past several weeks ago as well, probably in the reverse direction. And there, unfortunately, in the distance is rain. That was not forecast today. Overcast weather was, but not rain. And I can feel the wind picking up. Looks like a tree's come down here since my last walk. It's been cleared up, mind. It's next to that new plantation I mentioned previously. There's a herd of cattle over there. They weren't here last time, but they're out now, so I need to get across this field. And as mentioned previously, these stalls are atrocious. So once again I report them on Pathwatch. So as we approach Wallington, here's another example of a farmer not reinstating the footpath within 2 weeks of ploughing it. So I'm going to report that on Pathwatch as well. Not that it'll make any difference. Views back down the valley towards the A505. Which I can just about hear. So coming out into this greenway, I previously approached from that direction, my left. But today I'm turning right and going towards the church this way. Yeah, where are these hidden cameras? Fly tippers are still at it. The only hidden camera around here is mine. So we're at the high point of the walk now, near Wallington Church, around 480 foot. As a noisy jet interferes. Not much of a view today though. As you can see, lots of drizzle out there in the distance. A few spots here as well, but luckily it's held off thus far. So here we are once again at Wallington Church, and I might avail of the storm porch today as opposed to that seat in the corner, which I've used on a couple of occasions now. And as I said last time, not often I return to the same church bench, but such is life at the moment with COVID and travelling further afield. Besides which, that barn's making a lot of noise at the moment, and it's also getting a bit heavier with rain. Interesting bit of architecture there on that headstone. Appropriate as we've just left Halloween. So here we are, St Mary's, Wallington, and very appropriate this storm porch is here and open for me, but it's just starting to rain. It's 1:45, so it's an appropriate time for lunch, albeit we're only 3.5 miles into the walk from my starting point, so another 6.5 to go. (2:15), lunch has been had, and whilst having it I noticed this electoral roll. 21 adults in this hamlet, as you can see there, one of whom is John Inman, but unlikely to be the Are You Free character. Yeah, Mrs. Slocum et al. Anyway, first time I've seen that in a church storm porch. Guess this doubles up as the Hamlet Hall. Right, and also, luckily, whilst I was having lunch, the drizzle left off. So, God is looking after me after all. Wonderful. So let's press on. 6.5 to go, and about 2 hours to do it. Parting shot of St Mary's. Passing the alternative option of a picnic table and bench here next to this can't remember what it is exactly. I did record it 2 walks back when I did know what it was, but I can't remember now. But this water feature. Passing the village pond, or the hamlet pond. So just past Manor Farmhouse. This is all new walking. Some cracking views here. Across the plain. As I say, we're at the high point now, around 480 foot. Shame it's a bit grey, but there you go. It is seasonal, that's what these walks are all about, the different seasons. So at this juncture, having descended down from Wallington, we do a left down through these trees, which once again are ash, showing how commonplace they are. And I did speak to a Herts County Council officer the other day who was doing some maintenance work up on our local common, and at the moment they haven't got a contingency plan in place for the forthcoming loss of the ash. Typical. So take public footpath 44 here, coming off the lane that I'm presently on. Pretty decent view from this point. Just on the outskirts of Wallington. Don't get waylaid by that gate there. Continue straight ahead. Very short section of road walking now away from Wallington. To rejoin the Icknield Way towards Clottle again. Pretty decent vista on my right here as I walk along this greenway. Amazing how winter's suddenly arrived today, really. This northerly wind now picking up and a bit of drizzle in the air. Some sad looking sunflowers here, just a few weeks on from the last ones I filmed. And it's also pretty sad that I never saw the swallows and martins take off this year. No mass gatherings on wires. One minute they were here, next they were gone. And I think they went pretty early this year as well, because I've seen them around about in the countryside in November. Maybe they knew this cold snap was coming. Anyway, they're gone for another season. Upon reaching this junction, continue following footpath 5 straight ahead there, not right where the gas marker is, that red and white pole. Amazing how nature takes back what was previously its own. Wonder if this is what the world will be like soon, after all the doom and gloom being discussed in Glasgow at the moment. Well done, James Lovelock, 102 years old. He wrote an excellent article in The Guardian yesterday, all about how Gaia, G-A-I-A, may destroy humanity before global warming ever does. Gaia is the combination of the planet working in harmony with the environment and the universe. Wonderful. Baldock over there on my right, which is about to be tripled in size if all the planning applications that are in the pipeline get approval. Most of them on greenbelt land, of course. It's absolutely outrageous. Weston Hills over there, which we walked the other week, and we'll be passing again shortly, I do believe. So we now have a little bit of road walking down this quiet lane towards the A507, and blow me, what do I find here? Outrageous. There's a path that way to Clottle, but that's not the one we're taking. As you can see, no verge cutting on this quiet little lane. It's how they should be. It's recently been resurfaced by the looks of it as well. We're following this right down to the A505 and then turning left, whereas the actual track goes into Baldock, a little garden centre I believe, but we're taking the left next to the A505. You can just see over there on my left the entrance tunnels that go under Weston Hills, built at great expense but saving the landscape obviously. Model air playing field here with the windsock down there in the corner. GPX track shows from the exit road over there where I've just walked down, that quiet lane, it shows on the track that you turn slightly right, but in fact the bridleway now, bridleway 48, is just to your left as you come out of that quiet country lane. So here we go. Yeah, you can see in times gone by that the path certainly used to go up there towards the A507, but there's now a crash barrier up there blocking your way in, and it's been moved. Clearly the GPX track plus my OS maps actually hasn't been updated. So here we are now walking alongside the busy A505. So at this juncture, this footbridge is the Icknield Way, takes you back into Baldock. There you get a better view of the tunnel entrance. Very neat. As I say, it cost a lot of money. I think at the time of building it was the most expensive road tunnel in the country per square foot. But as I say, it's done a good job. Our onward journey here is left along the Icknield Way. Great to see these nitrogen plants rejuvenating the soil after the corn's been cut. This means probably a spring sow, which again is the best way to go in my book. Well, this slash and burn's obviously been done by the farmer. It's just a joke. I mean, what's the point of doing it now, ripping off all the berries? Hey, Mr. Farmer. Birds have got nothing to eat. It's no wonder that there's very few about. Absolute idiots. I'm at Welbury Farm, heading once again towards Hickman Hill, and this is duplication of the Wallington circular that I did at the end of August for Country Walking magazine. And this devastation, done at such a vital time for the wintering birds, is only done now because farmers can't be bothered to come out in January, February when it should be done. All the berries will have died off by then, but because they aren't seen, that's the farmers, in January, February, they don't come out. It used to be done January, February time, not anymore. Look at this devastation, eh? Really annoying. Never mind COP26. We need to start getting our act together at the local level first. Views on my left on Hickman Hill that I filmed back in August on a much brighter day obviously. Still hear the hum of the A505. Pretty loud at the minute as we approach 4 o'clock. Well, that's interesting. A couple of months ago I filmed a new bench here that hadn't yet been unveiled, so to speak. And look, nothing here now. And there's the view I was commenting on. Maybe someone's been along and had second thoughts, watched my film, don't know. But yep, there was definitely a bench here. It's no longer here, unless someone's nicked it. Wouldn't put it past them either. Yeah, this one's still here, the Western Walkabout. It was the same group. and this one's got a decent vista. Once again in the hamlet of Green End, doing a left here as we meet the road. So here we are, almost back to where we started. This oak tree marks the corner of the field where this morning I went down that way. But now obviously I'm retracing my steps, going right, back towards Maiden Lane I think it was, and then up to the church, just as it's getting a little bit dusky. 15 minutes to go before sunset, but it is a grey day anyway, as Larry Grayson would say. Final section of tree tunnel walking before we get back to the church. So here we are, 3 hours 36 later and 10 miles on the button, and it's 16:30 on the button. So all worked out well. Managed to fend off the weather. It's got a little bit dubious around lunchtime, but I seem to have been lucky with the gods today. Whilst it rained at its heaviest, well, it's drizzle really, I was having my lunch, so very grateful for that. Decent walk, much of which was done a few months back at the end of August on the Country Walking magazine Wallington circular, but I did it in a different direction today. Still some duplication though, but nonetheless different time of the year and different perspectives, so hopefully that was a decent walk for you as well. Certainly was for me, first one in 2 weeks of distance anyway. Nice and fresh as well, nice chill day. So until the next time, take care of yourselves as the COVID figures increase. No surprise to me, that jab was never going to work, but hey ho. So until the next time, take care.